Welcome to the Reach Your Prime video series. We're giving you a practical roadmap to navigating who you are and transitioning to the next phase of your life. Whether you're an athlete, student, or professional, this is for you.
My name is Duncan Littlefield and I'm a failure because I didn't achieve my goal.
Duncan, so you're CEO now and had some incredible accomplishments for yourself and with the company. But there was a whole journey before that, almost a whole nother life as an athlete. Man, growing up, you pursued the game of golf and turned professional. Growing up, when did you know, man, I'm good enough to go pro, good enough to do this?
I don't think I ever did. There was never a point where I sat back and it was all of a sudden like, yep, and now it's go time. The real go time for me is actually when I left college to go full time into the game. I broke 2 NCAA regulations unknowingly, but then at that point it was go time. But growing up, I told everybody that I was going to be a professional athlete, play the game of golf professionally, but at no point there was like, I'm good enough. It just, I wanted it that badly. And I knew I wanted it that badly, and that was the biggest indicator for me, where it was just like, this is the path, like this is what I'm supposed to do.
Man, in that hyper focus, I think we're almost trained to do that. But how did you have fun? How did you enjoy that whole pursuit, that whole process? Yeah,
so the biggest thing attached to that for me, it was golf and golf only. Like everything else came second to the game of golf. So for me, it was not living in Orlando, it was not like going to Disney World once a week. And it was not going out drinking. Like that wasn't in me. It was only golf. So, when people relate back to like work-life balance, I don't necessarily believe in that because of the fact that that was my work-life balance. My work-life balance was the game of golf. And that's it. So I was lucky enough where I had a really great support team around me where they kind of reminded me, it was like, hey, the lunches are supposed to be fun, but also the work is supposed to be fun. And my work was chasing a little white golf ball around for a little while. And that was a blast. And I wouldn't have changed it for the world.
And it's almost like you're putting all the chips on the table, literally, and now with your finances. So what did that look like, maybe when you were a student, enjoying it, still training hard, but enjoying it. Now you're a professional. Now it's, there's a lot on the line. What was that like?
Totally different. Night and day difference. When I left college, middle of my sophomore year, and I moved to Orlando, my parents, I had an amazing support system behind me. And my parents trusted me and they said, hey, let's go. So I moved to Orlando, and for the first 2.5 months, I didn't take a day off. And that was the real moment. So it was probably middle of March that I kind of sat back and I was like, you know what, I'm tired. And I'm not seeing the results I did when I first came down here and was just beating ball after ball after ball. But within that, it was like all of a sudden it's game on. And I'm gambling. And it's go time. So for that fact, I walked in and I was like, all right, it's go time. This is my world now. This is my job. This is my everything. And I knew if I screwed up or if I didn't do it right, if I didn't do it the right way for the right reasons, my bags were packed, I was going home. But it's different being, getting an NFL contract or having that salary or whatever. The game of golf on a mini tour level is you're competing and you're gambling every week. I was walking up to a tournament desk on a Tuesday for a tournament that started on Thursday, dropping $1,000 cash on the table and saying, let's go. I was rolling the dice on myself every week.
And with that pressure, man, there almost comes I have to perform. I have to perform. And even maybe you weren't a professional golfer, and maybe it's I'm applying for jobs and I don't have one and I have to perform. I have to get this job. Man, how did you find that fulfillment in that despite all the pressure?
Great question. The biggest fulfillment that I had was I was doing it for the right reasons for the longest time. Towards the end of my career, I struggled with it. I fought it. But in the meantime, I was absolutely loving just the process of getting better. And I wasn't okay with failure, but I was aware of it. And that's where now I think is being the CEO, the entrepreneur that I am now, I'm lucky enough to have a team that lets me fail. And before, I didn't let myself fail. And that's the biggest thing from working through it is what I learned out of it. But now it's just different. For us and for my team, it's just we got to show up and we got to create a great product. So it hasn't changed, but it has in the same way.
Same game, the context is a little bit different. a little bit different. Duncan, thank you so much. Really enjoyed the conversation.
Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.